JB, two teams fighting for a chance at the postseason today in H-Town. The youth of the Texans has been a tremendous story. They're one of the biggest surprises in the NFL thanks to C.J. Stroud, a record-setting rookie season. Russell Wilson can relate. He led Seattle to the playoffs his first year. Now he's trying to do the same with the Broncos 11 years later. The AFC standings, both teams very much in the hunt at 6-5. It's week 13 of the NFL season. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the broadcast booth. Ian Eagle, Charles Davis, Evan Washburn will join us down on the field. What a tremendous turnaround it's been for the Denver Broncos. They were 1-5. They are now the hottest team in the AFC. How have they done it, CD?
Complimentary football, Lion. They're taking it away on defense. They're not giving it away on offense. And their quarterback, many thought his career was stalled, is playing quite well for them. Russell Wilson moving around better, accurate with the football, and in third down, red zone situations, been especially good this year. Take a good look at how it's all come together for them in this 5-game winning streak. Since week 7, the defense has more than come alive. They're only giving up 16 points per game, tied for the second fewest. How about the takeaways we talked about? 16 of them, that's first in the NFL, and that's led them to 5 consecutive wins.
And with more on the Broncos, let's go downstairs to Evan.
Yeah, and another aspect to this turnaround, messaging from the head coach, Sean Payton, especially when they were sitting at 1-5, and as he told us, they were just searching for hope. Well, he may have found hope in a press conference 6 weeks ago when he said this. Let's take a look. There's a fine line here between a groove and a rut. You take a look at Detroit a year ago, sitting 1-6. There's a grit element involved, mental toughness. Here they are now as one of these teams in contention. We're kind of in that position. And guys, it wasn't just lip service. The Broncos actually looked at what the Lions did over the course of that turnaround and employed some of it into what they were doing, and it's got them in a similar position back in the playoff picture.
Yeah, and that's been the focus, as we know, for Denver to try to make the playoffs. Meanwhile, for Houston, their mindset has been this is the postseason. They're in it right now. And the reason why they're here, thanks in large part to their phenomenal signal caller, C.J. Stroud.
Calm, composed, cool under pressure. But when he throws the ball, he wants to throw it downfield, and he wants to hurt defenses. He's not a check-down Charlie type of quarterback.
And, Charles, he is stacking accomplishments right now. 4 straight games with 300-plus passing yards. First rookie to ever do that. 5 games with 300 or more yards and 2 or more touchdowns, joining Herbert and Luck, the only rookies. And a masterful performance in Week 9, leading the Texans to a come-from-behind victory against Tampa Bay. 470 yards, 5 touchdowns, single-game record for a rookie. In the passing game, some players to keep an eye on here, CD.
How about Nico Collins having a breakout season? He's averaging over 100 yards per game here in Houston. And Tank Dell, he is a big play waiting to happen on every snap.
All right, let's check out who's out, who's in today for Houston. Left guard Titus Howard, knee injury. He's been placed on IR. That's a big hit. Tight end Dalton Schultz, he's been one of Stroud's most important weapons. He's out this week with a hamstring injury. The Texans get back hard-hitting linebacker Denzel Perriman, returning after a 2-game suspension, and savvy veteran Jimmy Ward, the safety. He missed the last 3 games with a hamstring injury. What does this all mean for head coach DeMeco Ryans? He's done fantastic work in his first year. He told us he wants to see improved tackling from this squad. He's felt like that has been a drop-off the last few weeks from this defense. They'll be challenged today with the Denver rushing attack. Countdown to kickoff continues. We'll have all the action for you from Houston. The Broncos and Texans, a key AFC showdown, is up next from NRG Stadium.
A new season of Ghosts is on the way in 2024 on CBS.
When that alarm goes off, start your day with us, CBS Mornings.
We've got two of the three teams in the NFL that have already passed last year's win total. Indianapolis, the other. All three happen to be 6-5 here in Week 13 of the season. Denver won the toss. They have deferred to the second half. Houston coming off a heartbreaking loss to Jacksonville, 24-21. Their kicker, Matt Amendola, hit the crossbar on a 58-yard field goal, which would have tied it. Meanwhile, Denver, 29-12 win over Cleveland. It was the first ever 29-12 final in NFL history. Little scorigami as Will Lutz kicks it off to get us started here in Houston. A touchback out to the 25-yard line, and C.J. Stroud, 11 games in his NFL career, second most passing yards through the first 11 career games, behind just Patrick Mahomes. It's been an amazing run.
When you're in that kind of territory, you know you're doing something right, and the job's not complete. 6-5 start with a chance to rally his team into the playoffs.
We asked him about last week. He said, hey, back to the drawing board. Thought we played well offensively, but we have to be more sound in our execution and assignments, and no more slow starts. First play from scrimmage from the 25. Trying to establish the run. Singletary, nothing there. A gain of 1 going up the gut. And he is met by big Mike Purcell on the play. So the starting offense, no Titus Howard. As mentioned, that means Juice Scruggs, the rookie out of Penn State, steps in at left guard. Michael Dieter remains at center. They do get Noah Brown back. Brown missed the last 2 games with a knee contusion and has big play abilities. Beck shifts to the backfield. Singletary again. This time there's a lane. That's a 4-yard pickup just across the 30-yard line. Tackle from Jonathan Cooper along with Alex Singleton. Defensively, look, everybody's going to talk about the Miami game. That's going to live for a long time based on the scoring. But this defense, since that point, has been close to lights out.
Been interesting talking with Vance Joseph, their defensive coordinator. He said the first half of the Chicago game, the first game after Miami, the lethargy was still there. But from that point on, they've gotten back to getting things done.
3rd and 5. Stroud trying to run for it. Comes up short. Needed 5, got 4. Singleton helped make sure of it. And the Texans go 3 and out. They will punt.
Watch how quickly this Denver defense closes when C.J. Stroud takes off. He wanted Tank Dell out in the out route, but he had someone underneath him. Looked like number 29 in the coverage on that play. Jaquan McMillan got underneath that route that he wanted to Tank Dell, took it away, and that meant he had to go use his legs and try and run and get it. Comes up just a bit short.
So the Aussie, Cameron Johnston, will kick it. The dangerous Marvin Mims Jr. waiting for it. Fair catch called for at the 18-yard line, 48-yard punt. Russell Wilson, 20 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, the best touchdown to interception rate in the NFL. He's number 5 in the league in completion percentage. And when we chatted with him, he said it's really been all about getting back to being himself. That was his focus, be the best version of him. He was on the mountaintop. He was trying to figure out why he was suddenly in the valley, and now he feels like he's back climbing up the mountain again.
And he has a perfect mesh with his head coach, Sean Payton. They are much more similar than they are dissimilar.
From the 18-yard line, Wilson on 1st down, airing it out. Sideline, incomplete. Courtland Sutton with 2 defenders there. Sutton has made some spectacular catches this season. Jalen Petrie and Derek Stingley Jr. The fact that they have the secondary healthy again is a great sign.
And also, this play call right out of the gate from Sean Payton is a Sean Payton special. You attack the strength of the defense that you're playing early, because he's going to go through a full menu of plays to probe and find what works. Went after Stingley, their best cover guy, right out of the gate.
Will Anderson Jr. leads all rookies in quarterback pressures, and that was number 40 for him. Fake the handoff. Wilson, step and throw. Another deep shot, and bobbled and dropped by Sutton. They've tried them twice on 2 plays. Incomplete.
And both corners attacked in the first drive. Derek Stingley played before. They just come right back with Courtland Sutton against Steven Nelson. And he has the step, and he has the body in between himself and the corner. And that's one I think Cortland Sutton would go to the sideline and tell Russell Wilson, my bad, I should have hauled that one in. That ball was put out there for him.
Crowd is juiced early. 3rd and 10 for Denver. Nickel package, Wilson, step up and run. So similar to Stroud on 3rd down, he tries to go for it with his legs and won't get it. 7-yard scramble, and Denver's going to punt.
Like what D'Amico Ryans and Matt Burke did defensively there, the defense coordinator and head coach calling the plays. They showed pressure and then rolled back into a 2-deep coverage with a linebacker running down the middle, what they call running the pipe. That's called by the Tampa 2 defense, and they actually took away Jerry Jeudy down the seam, who I believe Russell Wilson wanted on that route.
It's up Riley Dixon with pressure, and that ball got tipped. Out of bounds. Houston got to the punter, makes a play on special teams, and in the field position game, advantage Texans early.
Had a chance to talk with Frank Ross, the special teams coordinator. He said, we're going to meet force with force today, and they're off to a nice start in Houston.
Getting some delicious barbecue. Will Anderson's enjoying his Sunday afternoon already.
I wouldn't make it to the second quarter.
That would be
Knock
it.
that down.
You're on the couch.
Done.
Stroud, open man, Brevin Jordan. Jordan takes it to the outside. Out of bounds. He knows it. Remember, no Dalton Schultz, so others will get an opportunity at the tight end position. And first up is Brevin Jordan, its 3rd year from Miami, for 27 yards.
And C.J. Stroud recognized where the pressure was coming from, identified the spot. Look at him. He sees it, and all he does is replace the rushing defender with the football in Brevin Jordan's hands.
They also have Eric Saubert, the well-traveled 7th-year tight end, at their disposal as well. From the 20-yard line, first down, Stroud, the quick throw, and they hit Andrew Beck. Versatile, fullback, good blocker, and has pretty good speed at that position. 5-yard gain, hit there by P.J. Locke, who has stepped in for the suspended Kareem Jackson.
And played well for him at that safety position, and is getting to a point in the back of the lineups there in defense that safety and corner are almost becoming interchangeable with how these defenses are using them.
118. What's that? Hey.
2nd down and 5. Singletary with a flag down. He gets banged down after the gain of 1. Mike Purcell. Singletary did not have a good day rushing last week. He did have a strong day through the air.
Defense number 56. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
And that is Baron Browning, former college teammate of C.J. Stroud, along with Jonathan Cooper. All went to Ohio State. Stroud told us that those guys were just terrific to him. He was a little bit homesick as a freshman, and so they would check on him, and then they would say to him, hey, you're going to be great one day. And he thought, like, am I?
Yeah, because he was redshirting that year, so he wasn't playing. He's like, really? And how about this 2nd and short here? This might be a great time to take a shot at the end zone.
On 2nd and 1, Singletary stood up, and Singletary held back. He couldn't get to the line to gain. Zach Allen makes the stop for Denver. It's 3rd and 1.
And at this time of year, you look at defensive numbers for Denver, you might want to throw them out. They're playing so much better than what their rush numbers are for the year. And here they come right back at them.
Quick snap. Stroud floats it up. Bobble and drop. Andrew Beck. And now what do you do on 4th and 1?
I say you go ahead and get some points out of this one. You've got a nice drive. It's going to be a long day dealing with Denver. Go ahead and get some points out of the whole thing. And the reason this play is not successful is Jonathan Cooper. Watch number 0. See him get right into the face of C.J. Stroud when he comes out on the boot. And because he's able to get a hand up, Stroud has to kind of loft the ball a little bit more. And it got away from him, kind of like a pitcher throwing it to first base on a bunt. Instead of zipping it, he floated it, and it got away from him.
The frustration stems from the fact that it was 2nd and less than a yard. Instead, it's an Amendola field goal attempt of 29 yards. And he knocks it through. Houston on the board first. 3-0 lead for the Texans in the opening quarter. Meat on the bone that they couldn't take advantage of. 5 plays, 36 yards. That was after the partially blocked punt from Anderson set them up, and they had a second and about a foot with a chance to knock on the door and get a touchdown.
Second block of the year for Will Anderson. Been involved in that before, earlier this year at Jacksonville. But as you noted, second and short, I think we talked, I would go through it right there. I'm taking my shot there and come back on third down. Unfortunately, didn't get it, but they did get through.
Amendola in for Kahimi Fairbairn once again, out with the injury. Let's check out our next-gen stats, powered by AWS.
Russell Wilson did a little bit of a Russell Wilson makeover in the offseason, lost 15 to 20 pounds, got some agility back, and look at him able to maneuver in and out of the pocket. As we look at the numbers of what he's getting done when he starts to go, and he's not maneuvering to run, he's maneuvering to throw. 7 touchdown passes on extended movement.
And part of the focus from Sean Payton, get rid of the football and do it efficiently, quicker. Handoff, Javonte Williams trying to snake his way through. He picks up 4.5 yards with Jimmy Ward there defensively to greet him.
Remember, Denver's got those plus-size running backs. Javonte Williams listed at 220. I think he's a little bit bigger, and we'll see how they come at it now.
They're moving fast here. No huddle for Denver. They trail 3-0, 9:45 to go in the first. Make an adjustment here with Wilson on a 2nd and 5. Wilson turned 35 years old on Wednesday. Give it to Williams, stop and go. Tried to push the pile. Will Anderson Jr. is there. Sets up 3rd and short. Offensively for Denver, this offensive line, they've really come together. They've done outstanding work protecting Wilson, providing more push in the run game. Talked about Cortland Sutton having a high-level season. They've got a lot of talent with Judy and with Marvin Mims. They get Brandon Johnson back today off of injury. Shotgun for Wilson on 3rd and 3. Samaje Perine was very effective last week in the win over Cleveland. He's in there. Wilson looking. Wilson takes the sack, and it's Anderson who gets home.
Comes Anderson up here, but Rankins on the inside gets pushed as well, number 98. And Anderson just beats him upfield. And a nice little bull rush. He got better leverage underneath Mike McGlinchey, number 69, able to push him back when he extended his hands, and then duck underneath and snatch the quarterback. Loss of 11.
Dixon, this time no pressure, high sailing kick. Desmond King backpedals, fair catch called for and brought in at the 23-yard line. That's down to get it at the 26 against the veteran Moreau. The young receiver Nico Collins continues to impress. 52 yards.
2 things. 1, the pocket, tremendous for Stroud to throw. But 2, Nico Collins locating the football. He expected on the go for that ball to stay to the outside, and he had to turn his head to see it go inside, and reacted and ran away from Fabian Moreau to complete the catch.
Now we do have an injured Bronco on the play. It's Patrick Surtain II, who remains in the sitting position for Denver. So some celebration here for Houston. They got a first down, and we'll be right back.
As they were testing the stability of that left knee, obviously the entire left leg, an area of concern right now. Surtain was able to walk off the field under his own power, put weight on that leg. He's currently in the blue medical tent being evaluated. Once we get something official, we'll let you know.
He's emerged as one of the best lockdown corners in the NFL, now in his 3rd year in the league.
Amari Mathis will replace him now, number 27.
Second-year pro out of Pitt. Damian Pierce getting an opportunity and picks up 2 yards. Pierce was the starter, got injured, had been a bit ineffective. So there was an opening there for Singletary, who played well in Pierce's absence, supplanted him as the starter, and right now Pierce is going to get his shot.
Yeah, back-to-back over 100-yard rushing games will allow you to supplant someone. That's what Singletary did. 150 up at Cincinnati, 112 in the next ball game against Arizona. So that's where he has kind of taken the advantage. Pierce trying to get back in form, but with Mathis out there instead of Surtain, it changes a lot of what Vance Joseph does on defense. Probably makes him a little more vanilla in coverage.
Stroud darts it. Nico Collins working that sideline against Mathis, short of the first down for Houston, but They are knocking on the door here as we check back in with Evan.
Guys, it's officially a left knee injury for Surtain. He's listed as questionable. Does not have his helmet. Currently making his way behind the Broncos bench here. Most likely heading to the locker room for further evaluation.
Yeah, big change there, Evan, now with him, because they would use him in so many different situations in coverage.
3rd and 2. It's a blast. And Gunbowale getting an opportunity here. They're going to place the football just short of the line to gain. So once again, it's 4th down.
And this time, I think they go for it. And Ogunbowale just short here. You can sneak this one, and it doesn't even have to be the tush push.
It is a push. It involved a tush, and Stroud has the 1st down.
Thus,
and some pushing and shoving after the play.
With that play, there's always extra pushing and shoving after the play, isn't there?
I think it calls for it.
It absolutely does. You got to get a little extra in. See him get in behind, and the guards kind of come together with the center, and then Ogunbowale comes in with a little extra emphasis from the backside. Back-to-back plays, Ogunbowale helping him out, getting him close on the 3rd down run, and helping his quarterback get across the line to gain.
And that's Ogunbowale, the running back, not the kicker.
Not the kicker.
Pitch it to Pierce. Cuts it. Spilled out. Actually hit his own man, Collins, who was blocking for him. Singleton got his helmet in there. And it's a 6-yard pickup for Pierce.
And Laramie Tunsil, the left tackle, came out, absolutely buried P.J. Locke. That's the type of play a Pro Bowl left tackle doesn't get to make very often, but boy, he took full advantage and loved it in the run game, getting up on the safety and able to bury him at the line of scrimmage.
And the fullback, Andrew Beck, just limped off for Houston. So the Texans already with the lead, chance to add to it. 2nd and 4 inside the 10. Give is to Pierce. Hit down low, then hit up high. Singleton and Henningsen collaborate on the tackle. It's 3rd down. Gain of 2.
And Ogunbowale coming back on the field, so it's evident that they've liked what he's done in recent weeks in terms of practice and starting to think about a package where he's out on the field. He supplanted Mike Boone, who's inactive today.
8th play of the drive. We'll hit the 4-minute mark of this opening quarter.
And they're probably thinking 2 plays here, Ryan. I think they're taking 2 plays to try and pick it up.
Dell is in the backfield. Stroud circles. Stroud on the move, buying time, throws. Incomplete. Nico Collins got his hands on it. Jaquan McMillan in coverage.
And he has been a revelation for Denver, hasn't he? Undrafted out of East Carolina. They love what he did in the spring and the summer, but they had to see him with pads on. Could he tackle? He certainly can, because the coverage ability, they said it was evident then, and he made this a very difficult catch for Nico Collins, unable to come up with it.
And on a 4th and 2 from the 7, they're going to go for it.
Might think long count here to try and get something cheap, even if you're deciding to go for it.
From the gun. Flags down. And the play whistle dead, and Stroud getting into it with Alex Singleton. His teammates coming over to protect him. And Stroud was not backing down, nor was Singleton.
I think all he was telling Singleton, listen, when the whistle was blowing, you need to put your hands on me. And if this is on Singleton, guess what? Houston's going to come out of it well. That's all he's saying. You didn't need to put your hands on me and push me. Whistle was blowing, and C.J. Stroud bowed up and let him know. And look at the teammates, as you noted, Ian, how they feel about C.J. Stroud. You don't touch our quarterback.
And they're still trying to separate the teams.
Hey, these guys know the stakes of this ball game, how big it is for both sides. At 6-5 and a chance to elevate and continue on towards trying to make the playoffs.
And now multiple flags. You had that initial flag that blew the play dead.
So we may be just doing it again. With all these flags down, this feels like offsetting penalties.
This has been a long conference.
There's fouls by each team on the play. False start. Offense number 78. By rule, that foul is disregarded. We also have a personal foul. Defense number 49. That 15-yard penalty is half the distance, automatic, first down.
Well, that's a crusher for Denver because that supersedes the initial false start.
And how often do we have flags that conflict with each other that one is disregarded and the other counts? So look at this. This penalty now puts them in a position to think about touchdown.
Gene Steratore with us right now. Gene, this is something that we see often in the NFL where you've got the one flag and the player plays through it. It results in this.
Yes, Ian, we call this a 5-15. The one foul on the one team is a simple 5, offside, false start. The other is a personal foul of nature. Disregard the simple 5, penalize the personal foul.
Stroud throws it back of the end zone. Collins had a step, not much of one, against Mathis, but Stroud could not locate him. It's incomplete.
Had what he wanted, just did not complete the pass, which is unusual for him because of how accurate a thrower he is. Collins won the route off the line of scrimmage against Mathis. Now they come back here on second down, and we haven't gotten Dell involved just yet. But down here with his speed and shiftiness, you could find a way to get him going down.
10th play of the drive, second and goal for Houston. It's a give for Pierce, trying to power his way in. Pierce goes low for the touchdown.
And Tank Dell's down.
Tank Dell injured on the play.
He'd been battling to get ready to play in this game all week long, and they pronounced him good to go at the start of this one. And take a look here as they go across the line of the end line, and perfect job getting across the goal line. Dameon Pierce falls in perfectly, but Tank Dell goes in with him, and I think he got kind of tangled up with Pierce and the pile, causing the injury for him to be down.
Dell is listed at 5'10", 165 pounds. There are not a lot of guys in the NFL that weigh 165.
Let alone are in the middle of a inside rushing play where you're in the middle of that pile.
And the concern from the Texans, even after the touchdown, the initial instinct is celebrate, but 4 or 5 Texans turn to the Texans sideline to make sure that the athletic trainer.
A little bit about what Will Anderson told us about this team, about how close-knit they are and how they relate to each other and get along. You see the affection and the respect from that team about this rookie who's been so sensational for them.
So the touchdown on the board for Houston. We'll get you an update on Dell as soon as we have it. Amendola on for the extra point. And it's 10-0 Texans. 3:49 to go here in the first. We'll be back in 30 seconds after this from the Home Depot.
The Home Depot, committed to filling the trades gap.
The injury earlier for Denver was Pat Surtain, the second. His left knee. He's back on the sideline making an equipment adjustment. Meanwhile, the Texans get the 3-yard touchdown run from Pierce, and that's the thing about the NFL. You could have one plan in place that Singletary is going to be the guy, and then all of a sudden things change in a hurry. If you sense something else might be working or it might be a better fit against a certain team or a certain defense, it's Pierce getting his chance again.
And that's called good coaching, to ride whoever is giving you the best play. Watch to the inside. So watch in here. Tank Dell, number 3 in blue. He catches it from the backside as the pile moves into his legs, and he gets whipsawed into it because he was contacted with Justin Simmons, who was trying to play through him. So you see right there with Dell, and underneath, and then Simmons hitting him up top, and it folds him over.
So Denver is now in a 10-0 hole to Houston. Fake the handoff. On the boot. Wilson is on time as he hits Humphrey. Angles out of bounds. Lil Jordan Humphrey for a gain of 12 through the air. That is the first down of the day for the Denver Broncos. They had a complete performance against Cleveland. 294 yards of offense, allowed 269 to the Browns. Opportunity here for Mims. Marvin Mims gets stood up. Petrie there to greet him. Line of scrimmage will be the 45 after an 8-yard gain.
Things happened so quickly. He went right past the Houston defender who was in a position to make a play. I think it might have been 55 Jerry Hughes coming down the line, but he was right there, but it happened so quickly. I think it surprised him that the ball was in Mims' pocket, and then he was to the corner.
And now Jaleel McLaughlin will see some time at running back. Rookie from Youngstown State.
And Notre Dame. College, not Notre Dame.
That was a Division II school.
Yes.
McLaughlin blown up in the backfield. Desmond King, veteran presence, back for his second stint with Houston.
And there's Matt Burke, the defensive coordinator. This is a big change from last week for Houston because they gave up a lot of big-time explosive runs and passes to Jacksonville. So now they take Desmond King, number 25, re-sign him, and insert him in at the nickelback position. Tavier Thomas, their normal starter, had a rough week last week. Penalties, a lot of completions given up. They bring King back, and he makes a big play early.
Denver looking to convert on a 3rd and 3. 5 defensive backs here for the Texans. Under 2 minutes to go in the first. From the gun, Wilson trying to run for it. Won't get there. The ball comes free at the end. Jerry Hughes makes the play defensively. It's a 1-yard pickup for Wilson.
By contact, short of the line of the game.
And the pressure is quick from Houston. They are fast off the ball and at him before he can really get set. He's not even at the top of his drop, and he's feeling the pressure. And once he feels it, now his eyes go from downfield to feeling the pressure and looking for an escape hatch. And Jerry Hughes makes sure there's not one there with some help from Malik Collins.
So Wilson tried to extend the ball as he was going down. The ball made contact with the ground. Officials determined that it was down by contact. 3 possessions for Denver, 3 punts. Robert Woods, the veteran, back there. Fair catch at the 11. So that's where Houston will open up after the 44-yard kick. CBS Tuesday, head down under for NCIS Sydney. These two teams of highly trained misfits will come together to defuse naval crimes in the most contested patch of ocean on the planet. NCIS Sydney, new series Tuesday, 8, 7 Central on CBS. Downstairs to Evan Washburn.
Guys, obviously a lot of concern for Tank Dell. He's listed with a left ankle injury as questionable. Obviously went in on the cart, no pressure on that left leg. Now, good news for the Broncos. Pat Surtain back in there. He was dealing with that left knee. Did put a sleeve on it, but in the game as we speak.
And Evan, don't be surprised if they test him early to see what kind of movement he has. Number 2 in white, and see if he's able to move and cover.
Singletary back in there. He's got a hole. Singletary dances for 4 yards to the 15. Purcell with a tackle for Denver. We had a chance to talk to Surtain this week. Asked him about the fact he's been with the Broncos 3 years. He's had 3 different head coaches. And he said, I just try to stay cool, calm, collected. I've learned from all of them. So you take in the knowledge, but he does like what Sean Payton has brought. The personality, the charisma, the leadership, and the winning, the success. Fake the handoff. Stroud under pressure. Fades. Incomplete. It bounced in the direction of Brevin Jordan.